I need my fan. Girl, I need my fan. I need my fan, honey. I literally needed it. Hey, you guys, and welcome to my kitchen, Midnight Munchies and more. I am your chef, Charisse, and today we're going to get a little epic on y'all, okay? We're going to make a vegan epic macaroni and cheese pizza. What? Who is she? Okay, so I remember like back in the day, like I used to go to Yecies all the time. They're like all you can eat pizza. It was like $5.99, all you can eat pizza. And they had the macaroni and cheese pizza. And I was like, girl, I can't eat that no more because I'm vegan. So I was like, let's make our own. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna all you can eat this pizza all up in my mouth. So if you want to help support this channel, please consider donating at least $1 to my PayPal, midnightmunchiesandmore at yahoo.com. It would mean the world to me. These recipes would not be possible without your guys' support. And of course, as per usual, you can buy my e-cookbook on Etsy, Secret Recipes from a Vegan Bakery, which has all 46 secret recipes from my vegan bakery. Let's jump into this. As you all know, I normally do the pretzel pizza dough because like I have a problem with pretzel dough, but I'm going to show you how to do it not pretzel-y. So I have a packet of active dry yeast. So I'm going to pour this in here if I can open this guy. These are so super cheap at the store. Like, oh my God, so cheap. Okay. Like, I don't know, 40 cents, 30 cents, something like that. All right, so you pour all that in there, and then I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of water. This is not water. I'm gonna add 3/4 of a cup of warm vegetable broth instead of water because I wanna give it a little bit more depth of flavor, but you can certainly just use water if you don't have vegetable broth on hand. So I'm gonna add that in there, and you wanna make sure it's warm and not hot. Now also, fun little tip because I like to save everything. After I make my own vegetable broth by using all of the bits and pieces, what video did I explain this in? Oh, I can't remember. But anyways, I like to save all the bits and pieces of my like vegetable ends and stuff and keep them in freezer bags in the freezer. And then I put them in a crock pot with 10 cups of water. I have a huge crock pot. I got like 2 freezer bags full of vegetable clippings or whatever you want to call it, vegetable ends. 2 freezer size bags full in a huge crock pot, 10 cups of water, and I let it go on low for about 12 hours. We have vegetable broth, and then what I did was, I don't know if you can see in there, but I went ahead and rinsed out this container, and then I pour my vegetable broth in here, so it's easier to deal with. It's not in a big bowl. You don't have to have a whatever. So we're gonna let this yeast hang out and bloom for about 5 to 10 minutes. I also forgot to mention that I don't normally add salt to my vegetable broth because I don't usually season my vegetable broth after it's done because I like to season the dish that I'm using it in. So this does not have salt in it because salt will prohibit our yeast from blooming. It'll just kill that bitch. And we ain't trying to kill that yeast, honey. Now that we have some bloomage action going on, I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of EVOO, extra virgin olive oil, pop that in there, and then I've got about 2.5 cups of flour. I have a little bit of extra flour on hand for kneading, and then I have 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just gonna start mixing that part a little bit in the flour on top, and then I'm gonna go in here and mix it all together. Once it gets to this stage and it's pretty much impossible to go forward with our spoon, we're just gonna dump it out on our surface here. And then come in with our hands and just start kneading it all together until we have a smooth dough. As you can see, this is a harder dough than our pretzel pizza. So this is going to require a little bit more muscle and kneading. So as you can see, we're not quite smooth yet. So we're gonna keep kneading for a few minutes. You can obviously do this in a stand mixer with your dough hook and let it go to town. But I don't like getting that out. It's too much work. We're gonna put her in a ball, plop her in there, cover up, and let her hang out and rise for about an hour. We turned out our dough. It has doubled in size. I'm just gonna give it a quick knead for like, well, I'm losing it because I'm using one hand, just for like a second or two. And then we're gonna spread her out on our pan. You can use a circle pan. I use a rectangle pan because that's what I got. But I used a little bit of Pamela on it, and it's gonna take a little bit, but you're gonna slowly work it out to cover the whole bad boy. Now that we got her all ready to go, we're gonna cover her up and we're gonna let her rise a little bit more for about 20 minutes until we finish making our macaroni for our noodles, noodles for our macaroni, whatever you wanna fucking call it. We boiled our noodles, which is half of a 16-ounce box of elbow noodles. And this is the same pan that we boiled them in. I put them in the strainer, but this pan is still hot, which is why I'm using this to mix it all together. So this is our Wayfair dairy-free cheddar holy ball sackies. So I obviously already got into it a little bit because it's so delicious. So we're going to put that whole bad boy in there, and then we're going to add our noodles on top. And now we're going to pour her right on top. Sorry if you get steamed out. Let me just get them all out. Okay, so now the thing is this is extra cheesy because we want it to be like a super cheesy sauce because that's like our sauce for a pizza, you know what I'm saying? So we're just gonna mix this all together until that cheese gets nice and melty and runny. So this is a super easy way to make macaroni and cheese if you don't feel like taking the time for my macaroni and cheese. Watch that video, bye. Here I have a little bit more of the EVOO. So this is probably like, I don't know, a tablespoon and a half to 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to add a little bit more garlic powder. So probably about like, I don't know, 1/4 of a teaspoon, half a teaspoon. I'm just gonna mix this in. And then we're gonna go in here and just brush our whole pizza with all of this. I mean, if you don't use it all, like, girl, don't get crazy. But we wanna make sure the whole pizza is covered. This is gonna give it extra flavor. And now we're gonna come in here with our mac and cheese and we're just gonna put the whole guy on top. And we're just gonna spread her right out upon the whole thing. Y'all know I cannot make a vegan pizza without Follow Your Heart's vegan mozzarella. It is so freaking good. So they sell this in shreds, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I've never tried the shred version because, I don't know, you know, like with traditional cheese, they say that they add like weird things to the shredded, and so you should get the block and shred it yourself because like to keep the shreds separated or something. I don't know. So I feel like maybe they do that with vegan cheese. I could just be making shit up. Like, don't judge me if I'm just like a crazy person. So I get the block and then I have Greg shred it. And so I'm gonna cover my whole thing with some vegan mods, and then I have my oven preheated to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're gonna bake this baby up till it's nice and bubbly and the crust is all cooked all the way through, which will probably take about 10 minutes, give or take. Like, keep an eye on it, sister. You guys! What? Like, who is she? Am I getting, oh, look at that. Okay. All right, sorry. It looks awesome. And I'm just so freaking excited. Whoa. Whoa. Huh. I'm looking at you, Greg. He hasn't tried it yet.
I want to.
I wouldn't let him take a bite yet till I was done. Poor guy. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god.
And?
That pizza crust, first of all, so much flavor. Like I said earlier, you can totally use water instead of the vegetable broth, but like, honey, that like Wayfair, I keep looking at him because I'm like, bitch, you don't even know what's about to go in your mouth, okay? That Wayfair cheddar is so like thick cheddar, cheesy, like gooey, like, oh my god. And then the Follow Your Heart mozz, can you see that? Yes, honey. Okay, so I did, honest to God truth, broil this. After the 10 minutes was up, I put it on broil for like 30 seconds to a minute. And I'm saying 30 seconds to a minute because it just depends on your oven, and you've got to keep an eye on it. If you ever turn your oven up to broil, keep an eye or else it will burn. But I wanted to make sure that Follow Your Heart was like nice and like melty. Oh my god, and bubbly. Okay, honey. We carbs on carbs on carbs on carbs, though. The full written recipe, as per usual, will be linked below. Midnight munchies and more. I'm like, because I'm like doing the fan. It's like, you know, you can't like, what is it? Pat your stomach. Anyways, midnightmunchiesandmore.com. And subscribe, you know the drill. And thank you for joining me because I love you all so incredibly much. And we're almost to 6,000 and I can't believe it. I just love you. Okay, bye.
Oh, good night kisses while he wishes and reminisces. His eyes kissing while he waits for the full moon above. Oh, ivory dove, passionate love. Listening closely, positioning my intuition for her nutrition and ambition. Nutrition and ambition, get up. Like when you rise in the morning, rub your eyes in the morning through the skies in the morning, get up. Like when you rise in the morning, rub your eyes in the morning through the skies in the morning, get up.